Hello, and welcome to WOW's Operation Replays. Today we have another special Akizuki match. As you all know, you probably, hopefully, saw the Logang review. Well, let's just say we got another one of those. We got another one. So, if you want to fast forward, I will put a timestamp in there for when that begins, so you can see that. I'm not going to have you watch the whole replay.
Try not to lose a single ship and save our base structures from destruction. Reconnaissance data suggests the principal
But I had been streaming for, I think we were at almost 5 hours now. So I was tired. And I made some pretty dumb mistakes on this first, like 2 waves. I made some mistakes. Like a lot of mistakes. So I literally forced myself into low health, and then I had to work with it. Ugh. I opened gunboat. And, well, it don't go too well. I get lucky on the first salvo, but it's around here that it actually starts going south. Aoba opens up, and right there, we lose about almost 10,000 of health. And then we have to smoke up. I mean, with every damage we took, yeah, we lost over 10,000 health. I think that was at least 12k health gone. Not a good way to start out the up. Like I told you, I made a mistake. That's a pretty big mistake. So, and no, I always say, there's those bleh. There are those DDs that charge in like this and lose all their health. Well, that's what happens. They're bad, and then they can't come out of it. I come out of it because I'm not the average DD player in Ops. But the majority of DD players that this happens to don't come out. They usually die on the second wave. The bad news is I have no smoke. So I'm going into the second wave with no smoke, which is a very bad no-no. And very bad uh-oh. I got real lucky and had a really wonderful teammate. So I'm going to give a shout out to Mr. Citadel Me Harder. I'm not going to say that last word. You can read the name yourself. But, even I know what that means. And that's why we don't show these videos to kids. But, he was very nice. Very nice. Volron coming in with his torpedo bombers, striking the DDs. And Yudachi knew I used my smoke. I wasn't expecting the Yudachi to do this for me. I wasn't. But I can see him literally right now. You can see the smoke screen. I'm like, oh, he was... And I'm like, thank you. Because I think he knows that the Akizuki needs the smoke to really do its damage. So he was nice enough to lay me a smoke screen.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
I think those were red tracers, so I'm pretty sure he has Yamato on there. We get a fire, and then the Congo DCPs. Our torps are on the way. Yeah, he has Yamato on that Yudachi. Congo takes 3 torps, fires and floods, kills it just before the torps from the Yudachi get there. And he said your name had me in tears. LOL. I wasn't paying attention to the chat at this point. I was, was like, I've got to. I know I'm not having the best day, but I've got to make something of this match. Those shells barely miss me. Aoba does go down to my fire. But then I've got, a Baron looking at me. Yeah. It's literally one oopsie after another oopsie. This was a pure... Oh, I guess this was a how not to play DDs. That ended up being a how to reverse a how not to play DDs. Because I lost a lot of my health. I was lucky that I had a teammate that smoked me up on that second wave. Baron shoots me, misses, thankfully. I do pick up that... I'm up to 100,000 now. But I only got here because I had Yudachi support. If you see a DD that is like me, or is having some trouble, give him some support. Whether that be in randoms or in ops. If it's something as simple as a smoke screen, give him a smoke screen. But don't throw your whole ship away to protect. If he's going to go down and you know it, don't. But if he still has a fighting chance, give him some support. That's just good sportsmanship. And that's something we also try to stress on this channel. Volron kills the Shuriatsu with a wonderful torp strike. Well, if that's one thing for sure, he knows how to torp DDs. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, I admit it's a good thing. And I'm not going to go for I can't hit these DDs, so I just start openly gunning everything down. I switched to the Mayoko because it is really close. Fortunately, also, Volron is also looking at it. It takes a while to get the shots on, but I do have the shots lined up. It just takes a little bit of time. And you see the torp is coming in. That could have been a very bad way to end the match. But it literally goes right past my bow. I got lucky. But basically, Volron kills 2 of those ships with, 1 rocket strike. And I'm going to do the Musashi now because, look at my damage. I have crap for damage. I got 5 kills, but it's not great, but it's something.
Reporting. Enemy cruisers entered the combat zone. They're chasing our aircraft carrier.
And we see that the Z and everything has spawned finally. And I just decide to open gun it. It's gutsy, but it's like, whatever. Because he is still shooting the radar dish, so I do have some time to get the damage on him. And I get it pretty well locked in early on. I knock out some of his guns, his rudder, his torps. But I'm out trading him as far as health goes. He does knock out my engine. He has the health advantage, but still a pretty good trade, though. For the amount of health he's taken from me and what I've taken from him, still pretty good. Now I switch back because I need him gone. Because he can't Hydra me. I have to wait for Volron's fighter to come back around. Volron was nice enough to drop me fire. He knew what I was doing. So he thought the best thing to do was to give me support.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
Again, I don't have a great smoke screen, so that does hamper me. I do have some room to maneuver. I do get the fire, and reload booster, pop back, go back in. It's not a perfect drop, but I just decided to do whatever. We just fired. For Torps on that strike, he's got a... His engine is busted, or at least his rudder is. So I literally have to gun him down. There's no fire, there's no nothing. First salvo he hits takes off a chunk of my health. Fortunately, I can out DPM his secondaries. And I live on just 1800 HP. But that literally doubled my damage just on that one strike. That's how much damage is sitting in the Musashi. If you're a DD and you can sink him, that's a lot of XP and just damage sitting there. The same thing for a carrier. If you're a Phobeta, a Chocolat, and you can sink that thing on your own, kudos. If you can do that, send me the replay. I want to see it. If you solo the Musashi on any op, I will make a personal playlist of every solo of the Musashi. If you have soloed the Musashi and want to have it shared, send it to me. But fortunately, the Nagato isn't looking at me, so I can just openly gun him at this point. Three fires on him. And we're at 8 kills. 325k. 747 target hit. 16 fires and 11 torps. Should have been more torps. We could have probably had a ray. But we end up with 326k. Very respectable damage. Very respectable. And a solo on the Musashi.